The Avengers Doomsday trailer has dropped, and I'm excited. A little bit excited, a little bit like I don't know how to feel about this movie because as we know, the MCU has been in a kind of like a downward trend for it's like now trendy to talk bad about the MCU. And I'm not 100% sure how this trailer is going to end up. We've got some teasers and stuff like that, or whatever you want to call it. Some people call them, there were post-credit scenes that we would have gotten if Avengers Doomsday was the originally planned, but well, I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as we get a very good movie. This just dropped not too long ago. I was getting ready for bed, and I was just kind of like, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. If you're watching this on MajinPlanet.com, I really also appreciate the support and everything like that. If you want to see this and early reactions, as well as other videos, toy reviews, and just other stuff that I do, where you guys can check out all this stuff, you can do so for free, or if you'd like, you can sign up for a free account. And if you want to support the channel even more, there are ways that you can do that as well. So let's go ahead and dive right into Avengers Doomsday. All right, I don't really know how I'm gonna feel about this because I mean, we've seen this shot from the trailer or the teasers or whatever they gave. So an incursion's happening. Who is that talking? Oh, there's Doom. Okay, so we've kind of seen leaks of this already. He's wearing the mask. Okay, I was really worried with it being Doctor Doom, him not wearing the mask. Oh, the Avengers Tower. Oh, is that Thor with the Fantastic Four? Okay. Oh, there's Ant-Man. Okay. Okay. Are they showing Doctor Doom versus Thor in the trailer? Oh, is that Shang-Chi? Okay. All right. Hey, we kind of already seen that. Okay, hold on. All right, of course, this trailer has a lot of stuff that has been already seen and different takes, but I think Gambit versus Shang-Chi, why? They just have Doctor Doom stop Stormbreaker this finger. Gosh, I wonder where I've seen that before. Seen something like that before. I don't know. Steve, we already know he's in it. Vision, 12/18. All right, guys, let's talk about this. Underwhelming. There were some. Don't get me wrong. There were some cool moments in this trailer. I think Gambit versus Shang-Chi was a highlight for me, just because we haven't seen Shang-Chi in forever. But where's Captain Marvel? Where's my girl at? But you know what? I get it. The man haters out there hating on Captain Marvel. I mean, let's be fair. The Marvels didn't do very well. It wasn't that great of a movie. Her movie wasn't that great. And I personally feel like they just introduced her into the MCU too late for her to really be that significant of an impact. And that's unfortunate because she's one of my favorite characters. But I digress. Looks like Thor's taking the lead with this. And I have a theory. Actually, it's not a theory. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be right about this. So basically, if I remember correctly, I think a long time ago, maybe a year after Endgame, or maybe 2 years after Endgame, I remember there was an interview somewhere where somebody asked Chris Evans, and I think Robert Downey Jr. was also asked this too. Would you ever come back? And he was just like, you never know, And I think it's been pretty much stated that they would only come back if the script was right. If what they wanted them to do was something unique and different that they hadn't done already. And people are all hyped about, everybody's complaining about, because I guess there was a poster was released a couple days ago for Comic-Con coming up this weekend. And people were like, Captain America's, or Steve Rogers not wearing a costume. He's the only one not wearing a costume. And even in this trailer, it showed him not wearing a costume. And I'm going to say this right now. People are like, who is that? Is that from Endgame? I thought he was old. I'm going to say this right now. The person, I noticed it for a second. The person standing standing behind Steve Rogers is Victor Von Doom. They're not going to repeat Infinity War. Do you really think that they are so dumb? Or do they think that they think that we think they're dumb enough to basically repeat Infinity War and Endgame with Doomsday and Secret Wars? Because what happened in Doomsday? What happened in Infinity War? We lost. What happened in Endgame? We won. What is Secret Wars? Basically, we winning. What is Doomsday? Basically losing. I don't see that happen. You know what I see happening? I see them doing a huge twist. What I think this movie is really, I think this movie is really the X-Men versus the Avengers. I think what's happening is, okay, so a little comic history here for you guys. In the 2015 Secret Wars run, the Ultimate Universe was crashing into the 616 universe. That is the true 16 universe. The MCU calling itself no, it's not. It's not. You can call it what you want. They can say it's 616. It is not the 616 universe. That is a comic book. I don't care what they say. I'm not buying it. It's not my canon, you know. But again, I'm privy to my opinion, just like you're privy to your opinion. But so as I was saying, so basically what's going to happen, or what happened in that comic, was that there was two universes colliding, and they basically went to war with each other, and it was at a point where there was nothing neither side could do, and so they built each side had the whole same idea of building like a raft, this ship that could protect as many people as they could, which they just protected the heroes. I mean, let's be real here. Whereas on the Ultimate Universe side, it was the villains that did it. Because Reed Richards was a villain in that universe. And then in the 616 universe, Reed Richards built it for the good guys. And basically when Doom rewrote the universe and all that stuff, they were frozen in time. So for them, nothing changed. So that's all Secret Wars ended up happening. So what's happening in this movie is that Dr. Doom is going to show up. He's going to show up with Steve Rogers, and they're going to tell the story about how their universe was. They're going to tell the story where how Steve Rogers Endgame happened. You know, he went back in time, and because he went back in time, an incursion happened, and Doom showed up saying, hey, this incursion happened. But guess what? This is what caused the incursion. It was that moment that Steve Rogers went back in time and stayed with Peggy. That is what's causing all the incursions. That's the destabilization that wasn't supposed to happen. But because he did that right when the whole Loki thing happened, Loki ended up becoming the god of stories, and he allowed it to happen. So when they said everything the Avengers did was supposed to happen, except for Steve Rogers staying in the past. He was not supposed to do that. But because Loki destabilized the TVA, they didn't catch it. And so it ended up that's what started causing the incursions. That is what they're going to do in the re-release of Endgame. They're going to set that up, with Doom showing up and telling him what you did caused an incursion. Now, how do we fix this with seeing old Steve Rogers? Well, because it's a different Steve Rogers. Because in every single iteration of the universe, in some capacity, when Steve Rogers stayed in the past. And each of those universes, when he stayed in the past, an incursion happened. This Dr. Doom and this Steve Rogers are teamed up together to help stop the incursions. And since they show up, and that Steve Rogers already did it, they state that this universe is going to crash into this universe, and they have no choice but to go to the other universe and try to figure out a way to stop it, right? It's all ploy, because they show up there, and the Avengers have attacked them already, because, with Monica and Rambeau and everything, Dr. Doom has already set all this up. Think about Zemo from Civil War. Yes, Civil War was about Iron Man and Captain America's differences with the Sokovia Accord. But who was the one pulling the strings and the whole time? It was Zemo, right? Dr. Doom is playing the same kind of role here. He might even be manipulating Steve Rogers here. Okay? Or maybe Steve Rogers knows and Steve Rogers on board, because I can't see Chris Evans coming back to the MCU to play to play Captain America and to play Steve Rogers again without it being something new. He's already done the No Man Captain America. He already did Captain America with no shield. We got that at Endgame, or half of Endgame and Infinity War. We already got that. Okay? Right? Yeah, he came back for Deadpool Wolverine, but he was playing a different character. He was playing an old character with a new twist. And he got to cuss and do all that fun stuff. That's why he came back. He got to do something new. He's gonna be a villain. Is he gonna be Captain Hydra? No. I truly don't believe they're gonna do the Captain Hydra storyline. It wasn't popular in the comics. You know, a lot of people thought it was cool when he said Hail Hydra, like, haha, that was a nice nod. But he's not going to be Captain Hydra. He's not going to be that. But he is going to be on Doom's side. And I also suspect that Doctor Strange is also going to be on his side. Maybe Doctor Strange and Steven and Chris Evans' character, Steve Rogers, are on Doom's side because there's no other way. And at least this way they can have some level of control over Doom so that they can figure out a way to fix things, aka Secret Wars happens, right? So what's going to happen here is that Doom is setting up the war to get rid of the Avengers so that there's nobody in his way to go and get Loki. Loki is what he wants to do. Once he gets control of Loki, he can merge the universes into his own perfect universe or whatever. Right? And the reason why they picked Robert Downey Jr. to play Doctor Doom is because in this movie, he's going to be wearing the mask. But in Secret Wars, he's not going to wear the mask because his face is scarred. While his face is scarred, he's wearing the mask because he's ashamed. But he resets the universe to his liking. He's going to fix his face. So his face is fixed. So you're going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face in Secret Wars. Okay? For the most part. Doom is going to be helping the Avengers when they get to the X-Men universe. There's going to be an all-out war between the X-Men and the Avengers. The Avengers are probably going to win, or probably there's not going to be like a winner. Like you might see like Shang-Chi die, which is going to suck. I already predicting it. They're going to kill him off. They always seem to kill off popular characters like that. They're probably gonna kill off Mystique. I can see Mystique getting killed. I can see her transforming and the whole thing, and someone's gonna shoot her, and it's gonna end up being Mystique. And like, whole thank God, right? I don't think Spider-Man's in this movie, and that's a whole nother topic I might talk about at a later date. But basically, what's gonna happen by the time the X-Men and the Avengers figure out that Doctor Doom is the one who's manipulating everything, and it's going to be too late, and we're going to lose the X-Men universe, and it's going to collide with the 616 universe, and then maybe that's when Thor, and who knows, maybe that scene we see in the trailer at the end there with Thor versus Doctor Doom, maybe that's him going after Loki and Thor trying to stop Loki, or sorry, Thor trying to stop Doom from getting to Loki is what I meant to say. So I digress. I think this is a whole misdirect. I think Doom is going to be a good guy for half the movie. Then it's going to be a big twist. And they're going to be like, Steve, like, how could you? And he's like, I'm sorry, but he's my friend. And it's going to be, because you know they're going to do it. You know they're going to use nostalgic. They're going to be throwing lines from the original movies and stuff like that. You know it's going to happen. Okay. They might even do something where Doctor Doom killed the Iron Man of that universe. You know, who knows, right? But I will say this: you're probably in the comments right now typing it. But Majin, we saw Steve Rogers grab was able to hold Mjolnir. That makes him worthy. He's a good guy. No, that's not how that works. You can be as evil as can be and still be considered worthy. Worthiness is not it's not a means of good nature. They never said that. They said whoever shall deem themselves worthy shall possess the power of Thor. That's what it says. That's what the spell was. Okay? Now, if you remember, I'm going to give you guys a little history lesson here. If you guys remember, in the first Thor movie, Thor was a jerk. Thor was bloodthirsty. He wasn't necessarily evil, but he was still not a good person. And he held the hammer. And it was more so the understanding of his virtue, right? That doesn't mean that Steve Rogers is going to be a complete, utter evil son of a bitch in this movie. No. I think he's not doesn't necessarily have evil intent, but he's going to be on the wrong side. He's going to be on the side where he thinks he's going to win. And he's going to make sacrifices and do things that's going to be compromisable to his character, or the character that we have known as Steve Rogers Captain America. Him taking the hammer is a misdirect, because the audience is going to think, oh, he's a good person, because remember in Age of Ultron, when Vision first was born, they didn't know if he was going to be on their side or if he was just Ultron. And when he picked up the hammer and gave it to Thor, that was the indication, oh, he is on our side. That's the misdirect. They're going to use that. Come on, guys. I'm not saying this is going to be a bad movie, but this was a really underwhelming trailer, and I got a lot to say about it. I'm probably going to get on social media later tonight, and I'll just be ranting about this because people are going to be talking about it. I don't like Mystique's outfit. I don't like it. I get it. You know, she's, what, 55, 60 years old now? I don't know how old Rebecca Lamone is, but she's probably doesn't want to sit there for 12 hours getting in a full body, like, latex painted, and I don't blame her. And we don't really need that. But, man, they could have done better with that suit. Like, it's just the wrong color scheme. I mean, it's white and blue, but the arms are supposed to be blue. I mean, I don't know. There's too much going on the face, too. I don't know. Like, they've got, like, I hate to say this, but, like, I think it was, probably Days of Future Past did it the closest, like, in terms of the face, like, her face. And then probably the outfit that she wore in, what was it, Apocalypse, I think was the closest we got to, in my opinion, like a comic accurate version of the costume. But the fact that we've been getting pretty dang good costumes as of lately, and they got her wrong. And then, what is up with Professor Xavier and Magneto just being like old people? Like, what's going on there? I know they're up in years, and they can't really do a whole lot. But what is up with them both being like, ugh? Like, I would love to see Magneto in a comic accurate costume. We got pretty close with the new class and all that stuff, but I don't know, guys. I'm just really, this trailer is really underwhelming. And then like what's up with Gambit's costume? Like, what's up with this costume? It looks like, and it could just be lighting. It could just be lighting, but it looks like it's black. And maybe they just changed his costume up to distribute, so he's not the same. He's not the same Gambit that we got. I think Cyclops looks great. I wish it was across his chest and not like in the middle. That's a nitpick. No Jean Grey. We didn't see Jean Grey or Colossus or no Wolverine. I don't really know. They weren't really telling a good story. I think that's Cassie with Ant-Man, which, and I'm gonna say there's a shot here that looks like it's it looks like Human Torch holding his sister, Sue Storm. Don't kill her off again. It's almost to the point it's become comedic when characters get killed off, and it's like, yeah, they'll be back. But yeah, the Thor, I'm pretty sure this stinger at the end with Thor handing the hammer to Steve to test him, and when he takes it and he holds it, he goes, "Okay, you're good." Misdirect, guys. Anyways, guys, that's my hot take on Avengers Doomsday and my reaction. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me how wrong I am. But it'll be really interesting when I'm right. Y'all gotta come back to this channel, subscribe, and leave a comment saying, Majin, you were right, because I am right. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's reaction. Hope to see you guys in the next one, next video posting probably next couple days here. I'm not sure. I do post daily on MajinPlanet and on social media, so you'll find me somewhere, and I'll be ranting about this movie. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed watching this video, you might want to check out this one right over here. And as always, until next time.